And any book that has Mason Miller is not only not listed, he's not even priced. Like Colton Cowser is priced as if Mason Miller doesn't exist.
They don't think he's going to meet the innings required, minimum, whatever things. That there might be some stipulation that they're going, we're going to put him in there and he's not going to be eligible to win. And we're going to have to give all the bets back.
Game time decisions. Only on SportsGrid.
And now you have to qualify in these majors. You got to go do it, man. Like, and it just comes off really petty to sit up there and be like, I'm not.
You know what you signed up for. So I don't like the pettiness. And I 100% think Taylor Gooch should be in the major championships. So in the same note, I'm saying this, but also it's like, hey, this is the world in which we live in right now. And you don't deserve anything.
Only on SportsGrid. It's smarter to be on SportsGrid. Your 24/7 sports wagering network. The early line.
Magical and historic season in Lincoln, Nebraska continues.
He is the best player in the NBA, but also in the biggest moments where the national media is watching.
Newswire.
Something that we have never seen happen before with one of the iconic coaches in the game.
Pharrell, coast to coast.
The team covers. It's automatic. It's every time. Not sometimes. It's every time.
Game time decisions.
Luka is actually far more dangerous from three on the road this year than at home.
This game here tonight, you may want to consider taking as many points as humanly possible.
In-game live. Prime time.
We got not one, but two coaches fired systems in place.
SportsRage late
sort
night.
of has letdown written all over it. It's going to be hard to match the emotion that they played with the other night.
It's smarter to be on sports.
Let's roll. This is SportsRage. I am Gabriel Morency, the pimps, the players, the hustlers, the people, the bustlers, and everybody else in between. The Friday Night Freak Show has begun. We've got a lot of stuff to break down, games, fights, races, and everything else in between. Let's start off in the National Hockey League right now. 3-0 for the Edmonton Oilers over the Dallas Stars. 5 minutes remaining in the second period of play. The Edmonton Oilers have played a near-perfect game, and in fact, they have been perfect up to this point. I'm not saying they're going to shut this team out, but they were up 2-0, and we've seen it time and time and time again. I don't know what it is. I can't explain it. There's no logical explanation as to why teams can't hang on to 2-0 leads in the National Hockey League, and we see it like almost on a nightly basis. But Edmonton scored the pivotal third goal as well. A suffocating performance. The Oilers have outshot the Dallas Stars 15-6. That's right, 15-6. The mighty Dallas Stars. Ooh, the Stars are unbeatable. The Oilers don't have a chance. They've got 6 shots on goal on their home ice right now with under 5 minutes remaining in the second period of play. That's not good, right? I don't care if you're playing in the Pee Wee tournament in Quebec City. I don't care if you're playing in the AHL, the ECHL, any other HL. All right, you got 6 shots on goal, and there's less than 4 minutes left in the second period. You got problems. The Dallas Stars have problems right now. Edmonton just punched them in the mouth right away. Like, Edmonton came out. They've been dominant. Like, they're not just winning. Like, they're steamrolling them in the corners. They're knocking them over. They're winning every loose puck battle. When they get a scoring opportunity, they're burying it. They're all over them right now. Like Edmonton's winning 3-0, and they're looking for more right now. Dominant performance so far, but hey, we've seen craziness, right, in the NHL playoffs. Yet this series starting to get interesting, and everybody is ready to just send the Panthers to the Stanley Cup Finals. I'm not so sure. I think we might see a similar situation. Teams come out flat on home ice. I mean, we see it. It's 56% of the time in this year's playoffs. But it's not just this year. I don't know why hockey teams play so much better on the road. They just do. They're more aggressive. Rangers were humiliated last night. I expect them to be much better. But I do also find that the Eastern Conference series kind of sucks next to this one. It's a lot like the NBA. Like Eastern Conference hockey isn't as bad as Eastern Conference basketball, but it kind of is in a way. Like the New York Islanders is of the world, and like you see some of these teams that make the playoffs, the Washington Capitals, right? Like it was a freaking battle to get into the postseason if you were in the Western Conference. Western Conference hockey's better. It's faster, it's tougher, it's just better. And I've been telling you guys for months, if not all year, that the Western Conference is going to win the Stanley Cup Finals. I think whoever wins this series, I think will beat whoever comes out of the East. So we got a full house on the program tonight. We got this hockey game going on. We've got a bunch of baseball games going on, and we'll get the crew's thoughts on the Major League baseball games coming up. We got college baseball as well. We're jam-packed tonight. So Steve Merrill is going to bat lead off. The Raging Redhead Cam Stewart is back. Tonight, we've got Lou Gamblu. Lou loves the NHL playoffs. He loves the UFC, and he loves betting on college baseball. So we got a bunch of things to hit with Lou tonight. We'll hit the Major League Baseball, little NBA Finals talk with Steve Merrill. We've got Sean Merriman going to step up and in tonight. Regular, Sean joins us pretty much like once a month or so when he's got a card. He's got another card. Coming up, a lot of stuff to get with to Sean, including I'm looking forward to his opinion on the Buffalo Bills signing today, as the Buffalo Bills signed Gabriel Stevenson, who this guy is an Olympic gold medalist, super freak athlete. He got signed by NXT, WWE, WWF, whatever the hell, and it didn't really work out. He didn't really have mic skills. It wasn't for him. It's not for everybody. Not everybody's an entertainer, But the guy's a badass. Has he ever played football before? No. No. And I was thinking, I'm like, all right, he must have played in high school or something, right? No. He's never played football before. But he's a super freak athlete. The Bills think that, you know what, he's going to be able to get to the quarterback. And I wouldn't doubt him. I wouldn't say, oh, this guy. And I see a lot of people are so disrespectful on Twitter, and they're just stupid. They don't know anything about anything, and they don't realize just how good. Do you know how hard it is to win a gold medal? Seriously, you know how hard it is to win a gold medal in wrestling? Against some of these Middle Eastern countries and the rest of the world and Eastern Europe and stuff. For an American, absolutely unbelievable stuff. But this guy is known, his nickname at Minnesota, Black Lesnar, instead of Brock Lesnar. I like it. I like it. So he's tight with Brock. The guy was dominant in Minnesota. So he signed with the Buffalo Bills. A little side note there. All right, so we got Major League Baseball. We got college baseball. I jumped in on Grand Canyon, the Lopes, getting 2.5 runs against Arizona. Arizona were up 3-2 when I pulled the trigger. Let's check in right now. Arizona is still up 3-2, and you can still get the plus 2.5 right now, middle of the fourth. So if you want to jump in, I got the Lopes plus 2.5 runs against Arizona. Battle in the desert here tonight in the Tucson bracket. I think it should be a close game all night long. Tulane are up on the Beavers right now, the top of the fourth inning, 3-2. The College Baseball World Series road to Omaha began today. Some wild stuff, man. This is crazy. If you're looking for action and you don't, you don't mind, you want real action. You want a roller coaster, craziness, oh my God, type of stuff. This is for you, right? There's these wild run swings and stuff. Dude, Irvine were up 9-0 today. And it was 9-8. They won 13-12. You think, oh, the game is done. It's never done in college baseball. More games are going over than under. It's, you can't just blindly say it, but there's quite a few runs scored. Oklahoma State are smashing Niagara right now, though. It's 17-7. We got a football score. Clemson and High Point. High Point had never made it to the College Baseball World Series before. They'd never been in the tournament, not even the Final Four. They'd never been in the tournament. They were 35-1 to win their, just to win their regional. Dude, they were plus 4.5 runs on the run line, and I can't bet on everything, and I spread out a bunch of stuff on futures in this, but I was looking at that, I'm like, you know what? And I was reading about High Point the other day, and, they're fired up, and they're kind of hot. They're hot coming into this thing, and I was like, man, these guys are like massive underdogs against Clemson. Here it is right now. It's 3-3 in the bottom of the 9th inning. These games are close. I played Georgia to win their region, the Georgia Bulldogs. It's in Athens, so they have home field advantage. Dude, they were like minus 800 or something today against Army. It was a battle, all right? It was a battle, man. Like, Georgia eventually won the baseball game, but it wasn't easy. The dogs are barking, all right, when it won in this stuff. I look forward to getting Lou's take. We got more games tomorrow. And we'll get into that. Major League Baseball. So we got the Dodgers. Dodgers are big favorites. I'll tell you what. I know the Dodgers well. This is where you can sort of catch the Dodgers in a flat spot, in a bad spot. Game 1 of a series at home against a bad team. They're not always interested. But the fact that it's a Friday night, I think it changes a little bit. They're playing Colorado right now. I think the Dodgers minus 1.5. Is the play in this baseball game, like minus 155. I like the under in the Yankees and the Giants. Let's roll.
Your gut says Miami is going to win, and you should take the over. Your gut also said your NFT selfies would only go up in value. They didn't. But your head is on SportsGrid and knows the QB is in concussion protocol. The backup has a 45 QBR against the zone coverage. The New York D has the most sacks in the league. So yeah, trust your head. It's smarter to be on SportsGrid.
There is going to be an energy to game time decisions that you will feel night in and night out. We're going to go through every single thing, and I've got a great team behind me that's going to help me get the job done. I want this to be the place that people come to. We are going to hit every single one of those markets that you need to know about. There is not going to be a better place, I promise you, than Game Time Decisions. We will have everything at our disposal, and we will use that to our advantage. I'm Kevin Walsh. Tune into Game Time Decisions from 6 to 8 p.m. Eastern on SportsGrid.
The numbers might look crazy, especially depending on where you think Jared Goff falls in the National Football League. I would consider him, maybe as crazy as this sounds, a top 10 quarterback.
And again, the theory behind paying your quarterbacks and your top-rated players, pay them earlier. The longer you wait, it only costs you money. If you have a top-flight wide receiver, pay him here.
The Early Line, only on SportsGrid.
Let's roll. This is SportsRage. I am Morency. The Friday Night Freak Show. We're jam-packed tonight. Steve Merrill's going to join us in a couple of minutes. Merrill bats lead off. We've got Lou Gamblu in the house. Sean Merriman steps up in it a little bit later on. Lights out style. Rob Vino, Tony Finn. We've got some AFL picks for you as well. Mick is such a big star. He's got a stand-in replacement stepping up and in tonight from this evening. Steve Merrill will step up in it. We got the Ranger Redhead Cam Stewart joining us. The NHL hockey game continues. in Dallas, Texas, and the road team's dominance continues in the National Hockey League. We play 2 periods of play right now, and I think we've got a good betting opportunity here as I'm on under 6.5. Now, we laid juice to do it, minus 165, under 6.5. We're on the Edmonton Oilers to win the hockey game. Oilers are winning 3-0, but the total right now is 4.5, and I'd be surprised if the Dallas Stars get shut out. And also, the Dallas Stars are going to get desperate, and even they would pull their goalie. There's still a full period of to play here. Oftentimes, going into the third period, you'll need 2.5 goals, over 2.5. You know, you need 2 goals to win your bet here. It's essentially 1.5, the over-under here in the third period of play. It is minus 170, but I'd be surprised, and I'm going to play it. I don't think this game is going to stay under 4.5. Dallas will probably score. They might score once or twice. This game could open up a bit, and I'd be surprised if the Edmonton Oilers pitch a shutout. But with that being stated, and as I tweeted during the game, and as I said off the top of the show, this is almost like a no-hitter, what the Edmonton Oilers are doing. This is like textbook, picture-perfect hockey. They've suffocated the Stars. They're forechecking, they're back-checking, they're skating, they're capitalizing on their opportunities. Dallas make a mistake. Edmonton jumps on it and scores. Skinner's played well. Everything. It's impeccable. This is an impeccable performance by the Oilers, but there is still 20 minutes left to play. Steve Merrill in the house, Cam Stewart. How you doing tonight, Steve? Good to see you. Good to see you, Cam. How you doing, Merrill?
Doing well, boys. How you doing, Gabe? A lot of hockey talk now until next Thursday, right? No basketball for 6 days.
WNBA. Who do you work for? Nike?
Yeah,
Steve.
I'm on the links.
Well, you know what, Kim? Nike put out a tweet today that said no basketball for a week, like with a sad thing. People are like, you literally just signed Caitlin Clark to a $28 million deal.
At least I'm not sponsoring one of the players.
So that company, exactly. They've got problems. Like their Twitter account, like there's a lot of misses with them.
That's crazy.
Think about it, Steve. Yeah, like in today's day and age, like what do you mean nobody? You got a signature shoe of this girl.
Unbelievable. That is dumb. I can't believe they actually did that. And somebody
I would fire. I'd be steaming if I was the CEO of Nike.
Oh, yeah.
I'd be like, all right, we're having a meeting. All right, I got to get all you losers in a room here together.
Yeah, I agree.
Yes, I could say it because I'm not handicapping WNBA, so there is no basketball for me for 6 days.
No basketball for you, Steve. But
like an odds maker. But if I was an odds maker, I couldn't say it. I wouldn't say it if I was an odds maker because I'd be knowing there's WNBA games. Yeah, that's awful.
I wish I bet more on the links than the Dallas Stars tonight, Gabe. I can tell you that. Horrible pick so far. I can't believe how good Edmonton's playing. I'm done.
And the WNBA, the betting handle really is up, Steve. All the sportsbook directors I talk to, they're like, oh, it's legit. They're like, yeah, it's dude. We had a guy on last week. He said that the WNBA games had more action than most of the Major League Baseball games, besides like the Yankees and Dodgers and stuff. Like it's beating Major League Baseball handles now.
Yeah, it's incredible. That college basketball semifinal, that Friday night game between Iowa and Connecticut, was apparently the most watched basketball game in ESPN history, including NBA playoff games, which I still find it hard to believe that's possible. But that kind of puts in perspective what we're talking about.
Yeah, they had 18 million viewers. Some hardcore numbers in the modern era. It's hard to do.
Tweet. I'm with you, Morency. Like, that's an issue. Imagine Morency, the president of the corporation, just sitting back and go, what kind of losers are you guys? Are you guys morons? Like, that isn't, like, to me, when I really think about it, Gabe, that is insane. To actually say something that
pretty bad,
ignorant and stupid.
It's very bad.
Like, that's
it's pretty
ridiculous.
Bad. Plus, what was the point anyway, Gabe? What was even the point of saying there's no basketball for 6 days? I don't even know what get the point of the tweet in the first place. Like, look at our baseball guys? Is that what they were trying?
No, they're trying to join the basketball community in mourning that there's no NBA basketball for a week. It was a social media, like they're trying to jump in here. But like I said, they've had a few mishaps along the way like this, behind the scenes. There's trouble out there in Oregon. All right, so baseball. Tea has been spilt. There's baseball going on here, West Coast style. This Mariner under train, I didn't pull a trigger yet. I see an 8.5 in game right now. I've been so caught up in everything, and I've been getting on this. So I'll throw it to you here, Steve. Angels, Mariners, Yankees, Giants. What do you think of these two games? I'm looking at unders in both of them.
Yeah, so I did the baseball show earlier today on Wager Talk TV, and I mentioned that I like the Yankees in that game. I thought it was a pretty good setup for them. They have not played in San Francisco since 2019. The only other time they've played since was 3 games early last season in New York. So, yeah, the Giant fans will be all excited, but I bet you that stadium is more than half filled with Yankee fans. I haven't checked in tonight. But you know how it is, Gabe, when they went to play the Dodgers several years ago and they didn't have a lot of these interleague games, big crowds. And the Yankees are for real. They're a solid team. And whenever I can take one of the best teams in baseball on the road in game one, I like road favorites, and I like game one road favorites on Friday. It's been a long-term winner now for several years, and it makes a lot of sense. They don't overlook weaker teams in that first game, and I think the Yankees will be focused tonight.
And, the ballpark is full tonight. There's Yankee fans everywhere, like you said. So it's the one good thing you can tip your cap to Major League Baseball about everybody playing everybody. That's good. Right, you should be able to say, all right, I got a chance to see everybody at least once a year. It rotates. They're not going to go to every stadium, but Aaron Judge, just as a little icing on the cake for you, Steve, about the Yankees in the Bay. Aaron Judge is a Giant fan. Grew up a Giant fan. Barry Bonds is his guy. Judge is from the San Jose area, so he's going to be jacked up and fired up. He's probably got like 400 friends and family here on his own.
I like it. Judge home run props might be worth a look.
They wanted to sign him. People thought they might happen.
Your gut says Miami is going to win, and you should take the over. Your gut also said your NFT selfies would only go up in value. They didn't. But your head is on SportsGrid and knows the QB is in concussion protocol. The backup has a 45 QBR against the zone coverage. The New York D has the most sacks in the league. So yeah, trust your head. It's smarter to be on SportsGrid.
There is going to be an energy to game time decisions that you will feel night in and night out. We're going to go through every single thing, and I've got a great team behind me that's going to help me get the job done. I want this to be the place that people come to. We are going to hit every single one of those markets that you need to know about. There is not going to be a better place, I promise you, than Game Time Decisions. We will have everything at our disposal, and we will use that to our advantage. I'm Kevin Walsh. Tune into Game Time Decisions from 6 to 8 p.m. Eastern on SportsGrid.
The numbers might look crazy, especially depending on where you think Jared Goff falls in the National Football League. I would consider him, maybe as crazy as this sounds, a top 10 quarterback.
And again, the theory behind paying your quarterbacks and your top-rated players, pay them earlier. The longer you wait, it only costs you money. If you have a top-flight wide receiver, pay him here.
The Early Line, only on SportsGrid.
This is SportsRage. I am Morency, the pimps, the players, the hustlers, the people that bust them, and everybody else in between. Steve Merrill in the house with us. All right, so we're jam-packed here tonight, so let's just get right down to business. What did you like tonight, Steve? You're talking about the Yankees. It's minus 120 in-game right now. The Mariners have been an under machine. Their totals just keep hitting. The odds makers, man, keep on lowering them right now. They're on to it. We've been talking about the league batting average being so low, but is the Yankees your play tonight, the late night games, and we got the Rockies and the Dodgers too.
Yeah, so on the Wager Talk TV show earlier, the baseball show, I mentioned I used the Yankees, and another one of those road favorites which qualified in a good Friday spot I thought was the Padres. And we don't talk a lot about public underdogs, but the Kansas City Royals were a public dog tonight. And why not? They're 21-8 at home this year, and they were getting plus money. I think San Diego's an underrated team, Gabe. If you look at their road numbers this year, San Diego's been very good offensively, 5.5 runs over a 280 batting average on the road. I think they're an underrated team. They're currently up 5-3 in the top of the eighth right now. Is $1.40 favorable going into the game.
7.
Oh, is it? They just scored again?
7-3.
Okay, they just scored because, it was 5-3 at the break when I was looking.
Dude, their reliever, Steve, has struck it out 13 consecutive batters, a Major League Baseball record. I was intrigued. He's not going to get in tonight. But like you said, I think this is going to be 10-2 and 12. And you're right. This team, they surprised people, right? People thought they were not going to buy in or they were done because Soto left. I didn't buy into that. I thought it would almost be addition through subtraction in a weird way. But they got a great staff. Cease's on the hill here tonight. But let me ask you, the Royals, has it caught up to them? Because this will be like their 5th loss in 6 games, Steve. Is it caught up to them now? Are they regressing?
Well, that was the other side of the handicap. Exactly right, Gabe. I think the Royals are due to fade here a little bit. This is a team that's now 1-5 their last 6, and this, of course, is a team that was 34-19 just a couple days ago.
And they lost their second baseman, who's been contributing too. Massey's out too. I wanted to bring that up too.
Yeah, and you always look for kind of a catalyst for these teams also, and I think Kansas City's a good fade here over the next couple weeks. By the way, the New York Mets, they had all that turmoil earlier this week. They got the win yesterday. They got the win again barely tonight. Now, once again, they're playing the Diamondbacks who are in a free fall. But you do have to wonder maybe if that was a spark for the Mets as well earlier this week.
How about a dog play tonight? Looks like the White Sox are up 5-4 on the Brew Crew tonight, guys.
Ooh, yeah, they lose 12 out of 13 entering tonight. Yeah. So we'll keep an eye on them. But I need to see more than just one win from that team. Gabe, that team started 3-22, as you know. And then over a couple weeks after that, they were the most profitable team in baseball over like a 10 or 12 game span. And now they've been the worst team in baseball again for the last 2 weeks. So it's been very cyclical with the Chicago White Sox.
Well, Morency, if you like the under in the Seattle game now, because they put up 3 early runs, the Mariners did, you can get a 9.5 with on my book. It's $1.48 with the juice. And it's 9.5 now. Live.
I didn't get it in yet. I see 8.5 minus 115. I did play the Mariners though, so I'm glad they're up 3-0 at least. But yeah, I'll jump in on the end game. They just don't give up many runs, but nobody does. Look at the Yankees. The Yankees are 16 straight games now where their pitchers have gone 5 innings and 2 runs or less. So Steve, all kidding aside, never mind what Nike thought about basketball not being played. What do you think about the opening number here of the series price? Are you're actually a pretty big metric and numbers guy, and on paper the Celtics are so good at so many different things, but the game is played on the court. There hasn't been any line movements in it since it opened last night at minus 225. So it's 225 plus 185. What do you think about the series?
Well, first thing that jumps out to me is the Celtics have now won 7 straight playoff games, and they've gone just 2-6 ATS their last 8. Including 2-5 ATS, those last 7 straight-up wins. So there's no question you're paying a premium, to back Boston. For that reason, though, I think these lines are going to be a little more modest, and I do think this is a very workable line here. Most likely the team that wins this game is going to win, is going to cover as well. So if you like Dallas, you probably sprinkle a little bit on the money line, of course. My first thought was that Dallas is dangerous because they're much better than their overall record. After that trade in February for P.J. Washington and Daniel Gafford, they became a much better defensive team. With that said, though, I don't think the matchup is good for Dallas. Boston obviously lives and dies by the 3. Dallas is not a strong perimeter defense. In fact, their road defense gave up 37% shooting from 3. Washington and Gafford are big power forwards. Lively is back. They got a lot of talent down low defensively, and that worked against Edwards and company. I think it's not a good matchup against Boston. The other thing I'll point out, too, they played twice in the regular season. Doncic and Irving played both games. Washington played the second game, and Boston won both of them still.
You know what's crazy? The Boston Celtics have only been underdogs 3 times this year, tied for the fewest amount of times a team has been an underdog in the NBA Finals. You like this, Steve? The Dallas Mavericks were underdogs 42 times this year, the most of any team to make it to the NBA Finals. Wow. Thanks, Steve.
Thanks. Have a good one, Steve.
Your gut says Miami is going to win, and you should take the over. Your gut also said your NFT selfies would only go up in value. They didn't. But your head is on SportsGrid and knows the QB is in concussion protocol. The backup has a 45 QBR against the zone coverage. The New York D has the most sacks in the league. So yeah, trust your head. It's smarter to be on SportsGrid.
There is going to be an energy to game time decisions that you will feel night in and night out. We're going to go through every single thing, and I've got a great team behind me that's going to help me get the job done. I want this to be the place that people come to. We are going to hit every single one of those markets that you need to know about. There is not going to be a better place, I promise you, than Game Time Decisions. We will have everything at our disposal, and we will use that to our advantage. I'm Kevin Walsh. Tune into Game Time Decisions from 6 to 8 p.m. Eastern on SportsGrid.
The numbers might look crazy, especially depending on where you think Jared Goff falls in the National Football League. I would consider him, maybe as crazy as this sounds, a top 10 quarterback.
And again, the theory behind paying your quarterbacks and your top-rated players, pay them earlier. The longer you wait, it only costs you money. If you have a top-flight wide receiver, pay him here.
The Early Line, only on SportsGrid.
This is Sports Rage. I am Morency. We're rolling along. It's the Friday night freak show. We're jam-packed here tonight. So as far as the hockey game is concerned, and shout out to Steve Merrill for joining us. 3-0 for the Edmonton Oilers. The third period essentially has just started right now. 19 minutes left in the hockey game, so we got fast ice. I talked earlier about the total at 4.5. And I'm not a big middle guy. And at times I've spoiled a win. Oftentimes in basketball. Oh, I've already hit 2 overs. Let me do it again. I'm like, dude, you already won. When is it enough? I'm like a criminal, bank robber. Like I say, Cam, you go back to the same bank. Overall, it was easy. We'll do it again with the same clerk.
Me and you are repeat offenders.
He got scared.
All the time.
Yeah, he got scared. He's nervous, that clerk. I'll do it again. I always talk, you don't rob the same bank over and over. You got to go to a different neighborhood, right? You don't go back to the same branch, right? So, but I get greedy sometimes. But this one, guys, and how you doing, Lou? I'll ask you, Lou. I'm already on under 6.5 at -160. I got the Oilers to win the game already, but I do think it's going to go over 4.5. We're at 3 right now. I'd be shocked if the Stars got shut out tonight, and there could be empty netters.
That's true.
I'd caution you to be happy with 2 in the hand is better than 3 in the hopeful bush. So
I even had 2 others. I even had 2 others with the Oilers plus 2.5 have already won with some college baseball. You like that, Lou? So Max, I got 4 of them already. You're right. I'm gonna stay back. I got 4 of them right there.
4. That's the best. I got 4,000. I could really use an extra dime. No, that's a good night. You know what I mean? It's good.
The best thing you can say, Gabe, is I should have bet it. Okay, that means it won, but you're still sitting there with 4 in your pocket. Sometimes it's just best to record the plus number for the night, turn the page, and start again the next day. I'm very conservative in that regard.
Yeah, I'm not quite as conservative in this regard. But we played a couple minutes, and the number keeps dropping, so I'll see how it goes. But I said it earlier, the Oilers have played a near-perfect game tonight. In the first couple of minutes, there was a couple of quick turnovers. Skinner made the saves. But there's a big difference. And Edmonton, it's amazing what a different team they are when they're confident. And I've seen it firsthand. Like I went to two of the games in the series against the Vancouver Canucks, Lou, and I was 10th row behind the net, 13th row, etc. I was right there, and at times they kind of play small, and you can tell they lose their confidence and they get sloppy. But when things are going well for them, they're very. And I brought this up last night. I said they're very good front runners, Lou. Yeah. They get bigger, like their chest starts to puff out more. They become faster, and it's almost like a switch goes off in their head where they remember, oh yeah, we're supposed to win. We're better than these guys. Like we're the Edmonton Oilers. We're actually right. They're just fragile psychologically, and I think the media in Edmonton doesn't help them at all. And I knew getting away from that cesspool would help them tonight, but. When they're a very good team, when they're dialed in and they're confident, and we're seeing this tonight. They're dialed in and confident tonight.
Good call, Morency. And also, when you have a 2-0 lead, and the fact they came back in that game with 5 unanswered, they were almost flawlessly defensive in the third. I haven't seen Edmonton play that kind of defense in a long time. They really didn't panic, and sometimes their defensemen do, and it actually led into tonight. We talk about hockey and momentum. Sometimes it doesn't, but they played. Now, what are we saying? 3 almost perfect periods of hockey heading into this game right now. They look like a totally different team on the defensive side, for sure.
It's important. It's important that they take advantage of this momentum while they have it, because if there's one thing that we can count on in this series is that something's bound to change. It's been very inconsistent and hard to really focus in on one team or even one period at a time. And now the Oilers have had, 5-6 periods in a row. So I would look, as good as Edmonton is playing right now, I would look for Dallas to find some way to regroup, maybe not yet tonight, but by that next game when they have to travel up to Edmonton and give a much better effort than what we're seeing here tonight.
I thought, and I said, that the Oilers are, and you could argue that all teams are better off on the road almost now. 56% of the time the road teams are winning this year. But the Oilers, I love the spot that they were in after winning the last game, having 2 or 3 games on the road. There's too much pressure on them at home. There really is. Like, it's overbearing, it's overwhelming. And you're right, Lou, it'll be challenging for them to deal with it. And it leads us into tomorrow's game, actually, with the Rangers and the Panthers. Anyone that's watched the series, you could tell the Panthers are the better team than the New York Rangers are. But with all that being stated, Shesterkin can steal a game for you. And the Rangers, last night was a classic example of a game not being indicated of the final score. Like that's the worst 3-2 game ever. It could have been 6-2, 8-2. Like the Rangers were soft, flat. That was an embarrassing performance in a playoff game at this juncture of the playoffs. I'm expecting, they should come out with their skates on fire tomorrow, Lou. I don't know if it'll be enough for them to win. The Panthers do look better, but I am expecting the Rangers to put up a good fight tomorrow after that humiliating performance.
I think part of the humiliating performance is that Florida is inflicting themselves on to New York. New York was weak 5-on-5 all year long. This is no surprise what we're seeing from Florida and New York at full strength. But what's surprising is that Florida's been able to do it so effectively. And so I think that you hit it on the head, Gabriel, when you said Shesterkin, because he's the big common denominator here that can keep the Rangers in this thing. But this is all about Florida, the forecheck and 5-on-5, in my opinion.
Florida are another team, though, that have not been good at home. They have less than 0 of a home ice advantage, like even less than everyone else. They really do win on the road all the time. The ice is faster in Florida, which is kind of an advantage for the Panthers. I'm not in love with the Rangers tomorrow, Cam, but I do think the first period, I'll play the Rangers in the first period tomorrow. Like I said, I think they'll come out strong early. Mm-hmm. Can they maintain it? I don't know. I will say, I was convicted about the Oilers tonight. I'm not locked in with the Rangers tomorrow, but I do think we're going 7, actually. I think the Rangers are going to steal one tomorrow, and then they'll lose on their home ice to the Panthers in 7. The last game is always the hardest game to win, guys, man. That game, that the series clincher is always the hardest one to win.
It is, man, because you're thinking about it, and you can't be thinking about it. You got to think about the next shift and what you're going to do and how you're going to like bury these guys. Gabe, I agree with your point. The Rangers did take a 1-0 lead in the last game, and when Forsling scored that goal on that beautiful backhand, it just kind of flipped the script. But I do agree with Lou 100 times. It's almost like you guys know the fight game better than me with MMA. Florida's just beating the crap out of the Rangers. Like, the Rangers defensemen are slow. And Florida has a bunch of mean forwards that finish checks and put your face through the glass. And over time, we saw violent teams like the St. Louis Blues win the damn Stanley Cup because that's how they play. You wear down your opponent like a boa constrictor has you and squeezes the life out of you. The only thing the Rangers are going to do, I don't mind the first period play, but Shesterkin has to stand on his head for them to have a chance. I think Florida might be able to end it on home ice.
I tend to agree with Cam. I just think that the physicality of Florida is just taking its toll on a team in the Rangers that were not exposed appropriately when they played Carolina. And so I think this the weight and the weight of Florida is telling.
You know what also is catching up to the Rangers? They're an old team.
Yeah.
They're not a young team. They don't have, like, how many 21-year-olds are on that team? How many 23-year-olds are on that team? It's all dudes that are in their 30s and, like, they've got guys that have been in the league a while. Like, it's catching up to them. Like, they're definitely too slow right now.
Yeah.
And any book that has Mason Miller is not only not listed, he's not even priced. Like, Colton Cowser is priced as if Mason Miller doesn't exist.
They don't think he's going to meet the innings required, minimum, whatever things. That there might be some stipulation that they're going, we're going to put him in there, and he's not going to be eligible to win. And we're going to have to give all the bets back.
Game time decisions. Only on SportsGrid.
And now you have to qualify, and these majors, you got to go do it, man. Like, and it just comes off really petty to sit up there and be like, I'm not.
You know what you signed up for. So I don't like the pettiness, and I 100% think Taylor Gooch should be in the major championships. So in the same note, I'm saying this, but also it's like, hey, this is the world in which we live in right now, and you don't deserve anything.
Only on SportsGrid. It's smarter to be on SportsGrid, your 24/7 sports wagering network. The early line.
Magical and historic season in Lincoln, Nebraska continues.
He is the best player in the NBA, but also in the biggest moments where the national media is watching.
Newswire.
Something that we have never seen happen before with one of the iconic coaches in the game.
Pharrell coast to coast.
The team covers. It's automatic. It's every time. Not sometimes. It's every time.
Game time decisions.
Luka is actually far more dangerous from 3 on the road this year than at home.
This game here tonight, you may want to consider taking as many points as humanly possible.
In-game live. Prime time.
We got not one, but 2 coaches fired systems in place.
SportsRage late
sort of
night.
has letdown written all over it. It's going to be hard to match the emotion that they played with the other night.
It's smarter to be on sport.
Thank you. I appreciate this. You want one of these?
I'm good, KG.
You want your ginger shot?
I'm good, man. I'm good.
I need some positivity today. I'm trying to cover this spread, and your vibe is off, G.
What's wrong with my vibe?
You got to get you one of these, G. Get to sip some of this positivity in your life, and boom! You see that? Spread's covered. Thank you, Mama. In a minute, G. Ha-ha!
It's amazing what a game can do and what a difference it can make to the line. updated series price right now. In the modern era, there's modern updated series prices that change in the middle of the game. The Edmonton Oilers are now minus 350 to win this series over the Dallas Stars. The Dallas Stars are plus 275. And to put in context, the Edmonton Oilers are plus 110, guys, to win the Stanley Cup. The Florida Panthers are plus 150. Like the Oilers, so to put it in context, the odds makers like the Oilers more than the Panthers.
Are overreacting.
I can't.
They always do.
I can't make your. I can't really make an argument against you, Lou. That these swings are wild, bro. But I tell you, I bring it up. It's a good time to bet it, though, in game. I've hit these a couple of times in the series because you get people when they're at the most vulnerable here. But it is amazing, isn't it? From people giving up, Skinner sucks, the Oilers suck, they're going to lose, they're chokers. And that's coming from people in Edmonton. And now suddenly they're plus 110. No, they're plus 110 to actually win the Stanley Cup.
Well,
but it goes, they're a hyped up team.
Gabe, and we do talk about this all the time. Dallas, they were playing a horrible home game. Say that you bet them plus 275, they tie it up. You got that in your back pocket with a game 7. There's so many things you can do with that. So I think I'm going to take your advice and take Dallas at that price because that price is ludicrous.
I'd say wait it out to the rest of the game because they're not going to come back and win the game. So you'll get a couple of even. Yeah, you'll get a little higher even.
Sure.
I'll tell you what made a little difference to me tonight and what finally swung me to Edmonton is when I looked at the series price tonight. It was minus 120 Dallas. At the beginning of this series, with Dallas getting all the roses and the hype, Dallas was minus 125. That number stuck out like a sore thumb to me, and really somebody knew something or I didn't know something. It didn't matter because it forced me to go the Edmonton side, and I'm happy I did.
I'll tell you what, I'd like to speak when we will next week. If the Oilers get there, there's a lot of Oiler futures out there, man. This is a team to be people playing every year to win the cup. So quite the roller coaster here. All right, so 3-0, 9 minutes left. Let's get into some baseball right now. Lou, I've got I literally played like 8 regional futures in the College Baseball World Series, the road to Omaha. I didn't really want to get into the game-by-game roller coaster.
Good.
And yeah, what it's like. These games are crazy. Irvine today were winning 9-0 and ended up 13-12. There's a lot of wild swings in these games, but you always like dogs, Lou. I'm kind of kicking myself for this one, but there's so much going on. I can't bet on everything all the time, even though, trust me, I try. Was Clemson. Clemson were playing High Point tonight. They were massive favorites, dude. High Point were getting 4.5 on the run line. It was tied in the 8th inning. And let's talk about a game going on in your backyard right now. And as the show started, Grand Canyon were down 3-2. And I told everybody, let's jump in on the Lopes here at plus 2.5, minus 115, Lou, with Grand Canyon. They're winning 5-3 right now over Arizona. What are your thoughts on that game and the College Baseball World Series Day 1?
Yeah, they beat them twice. Grand Canyon did this year. This is not a surprise. Grand Canyon made the regionals last year. Shook some things up. They're a good up-and-coming team, just like they are in basketball. I'm also have bet some regional action, but the time to bet game by game in the regionals isn't game 1, just like you highlight, Gabriel. It's game 2 and game 3 after you see a game or two, see who's lost one, see who's second pitching, because everybody threw their ace tonight. Now we'll be able to actually get into the team pitching staffs, and we know what teams have 2 and 3 pitchers deep and what teams don't, and that's going to make a difference on tomorrow, Saturday, and Sunday.
I like those. Some of the bigger teams rolled out. They didn't go with their aces today. It's always I'm going to be honest with you, the one part I hate about this, Lou, is the frustration of this team loses, the loser bracket, you got to lose twice, who's pitching, and all that. But the Beavers are up on Tulane right now, 6-3. Grand Canyon is up 5-3. And one team I did take, Lou, and I took Dallas Baptist. to win this. I thought they had a chance. They beat Arizona earlier in the year, but props to West Virginia. There's a good example. Another underdog that won today, West Virginia. They were big underdogs against Dallas Baptist today.
That's one regional I stayed away from because that is the toughest regional of the 16, in my opinion. You have a bunch of teams. Any one of those teams could arguably win that regional.
So Grand Canyon and Arizona 5-3 right now. What were your picks, Lou, for the big picture as far as who did you like to win the tournament?
I've got Arkansas and A&M, and Arkansas is 10-1 before the tournament. Great pitching staff, SEC. A&M, great pitching staff, SEC. It's my opinion that the SEC steel sharpens steel. They're going to be so excited, even though some of the lesser SEC teams might have underachieved in game one today. The SEC is going to be giddy to be playing teams not in the SEC, and I look for them overall to have great success. So Arkansas 10-1, A&M short 5-1. But if you understand the bracket for the College World Series, the bracket's just like college basketball, and it's set now all the way through to Omaha. So you can track who potentially each team will play on their path to Omaha and through and into Omaha. And really that's as much a part of the handicap as the teams and the pitching staffs.
Lou, I went total chalk here, which is almost dangerous. The overall one seed hasn't won since 1999. So similar to basketball. The overall one seed doesn't win, but UConn was the overall one seed and won this year. The Tennessee Volunteers.
Your gut says Miami is going to win, and you should take the over. Your gut also said your NFT selfies would only go up in value. They didn't. But your head is on SportsGrid and knows the QB is in concussion protocol. The backup has a 45 QBR against the zone coverage. The New York D has the most sacks in the league. So yeah, trust your head. It's smarter to be on SportsGrid.
There is going to be an energy to game time decisions that you will feel night in and night out. We're going to go through every single thing, and I've got a great team behind me that's going to help me get the job done. I want this to be the place that people come to. We are going to hit every single one of those markets that you need to know about. There is not going to be a better place, I promise you, than Game Time Decisions. We will have everything at our disposal, and we will use that to our advantage. I'm Kevin Walsh. Tune into Game Time Decisions from 6 to 8 p.m. Eastern on SportsGrid.
The numbers might look crazy, especially depending on where you think Jared Goff falls in the National Football League. I would consider him, maybe as crazy as this sounds, a top 10 quarterback.
And again, the theory behind paying your quarterbacks and your top-rated players, pay them earlier. The longer you wait, it only costs you money. If you have a top-flight wide receiver, pay him here.
The Early Line, only on SportsGrid.
All right, we'll get into some UFC with Lou in a couple of minutes, get his thoughts on, was it UFC 302? But as far as the College Baseball World Series is concerned, Arizona are in business right now. I was talking about the in-game total being 13.5. A lot of baseball left in this game. We're at the bottom of the sixth right now. The Lopes are up 5-4. Tulane are coming back on the Beavers. It's 6-4 right now on top of the sixth. K-State are beating up Louisiana Tech right now. in the bottom of the fifth inning. It is 9-2. These were the ones. I put them on Twitter in the overnight hours last night. These are the teams that I took to win the regionals. And, Lou, I did put stock at times in the home field as well. At other times, I didn't, though. Like Arizona, I kind of didn't. I took Dallas Baptist to win that group. But I went with the LSU Tigers. Close game today. They ended up surviving. LSU slow start, but they're starting to heat up right now. They've got the championship pedigree. And it was like plus 110 to win the group. So I got LSU plus 110 to win their region. FSU to win their region at minus 120. The chalkiest one I did 2 chalk ones. These are ones I didn't even post. I did take Texas A&M, Lou, minus 200, but you got them to win a damn thing, so I don't feel bad about like minus 200 to win the regional.
No, well, and they're in a very favorable regional as well. Grambling,
yeah, exactly.
Louisiana, and Texas. Yeah, I mean they're a name, but they're not as potent in baseball this year as they have in past years.
And I laid the 80 cents with Georgia. Although Army gave them all they can handle today, but Georgia did when I laid 80 cents with Georgia. I took Arkansas minus 200 as well to win their region. UC Santa Barbara, Cam, plus 140 in the Santa Barbara region. So I took the Gauchos to win. This Oklahoma State team is good, Lou. Great tonight. They exploded early in the baseball game. But I like this Cowboy team, minus 110 to win their group. And Dallas Baptist, I took it plus 180 as well. Those are my regional picks, Lou.
Yeah, my chalk position was Kentucky. Again, SEC and pitching. I hate to just keep saying the same thing. But the rest of them were dogs. Mississippi State, Oklahoma, Clemson plus 110, Oregon plus 100. I went kind of conservative again in this first weekend because all I'm really trying to do is harvest 3, 4, 5 units maybe into the super regionals and get myself a little bankroll going into the final 8 in Omaha.
Yeah, me too. I played 8, and I'm hoping to win 5, 6 of them. Right? Hopefully I can hit that Santa Barbara, the dog or the LSU plus 110 one as well. So speaking of goals, the Dallas Stars have scored 3-1. Suddenly that 4.5 is in play. 3-1 right now.
Very in play.
3 minutes left in the hockey game right now. Can the Edmonton Oilers hang on? The Dallas Stars are probably going to score again, or there'll be an empty net.
EN. Yeah, EN, exactly.
EN. EN. You're the best, Lou. That was awesome.
All right, so Lou has no interest in the NBA finals, so let's go on to the
Zero.
Yeah, let's go on to the
short, fat Italian guy that can't jump got no business playing basketball, fellas.
UFC 302 from Newark, New Jersey, Prudential Center.
Tough town.
Dustin Poirier is plus 400 underdog. And I find, Lou, when I look at this card, it's so chalky, but it seems like the favorites are probably going to win. You're the king of the underdogs when it comes to UFC betting, Lou. Are there live dogs on this card? Just the main card. We'll hit it on the other side. We got a break coming up in a minute, but it is a chalky card on that main card right there. Are there any live dogs, in your opinion?
Very, very few. I'm having a really difficult time. I'm using gimmicks to come up with price, and we can talk about that on the other side.
Yeah, it's one of those frustrating ones, Cam. It's like, Poirier's plus 400. Yeah, but he's going to lose.
Exactly. He's going to lose.
You know what I mean? It's one of those deals.
Using gimmicks. I like that. Yes.
Favorites are running 67% so far this year in the UFC. You got to respect that. Now, I'll take my shot here and there on the appropriate underdog, and you've seen me on this show throw some out, but I got to read the card, and this one's a difficult one for underdogs.
Yeah, so Islam is minus 550. Poirier is plus 400 right now. Sean Strickland is minus 275. Costa is plus 225. Can we talk ourselves into Costa in this fight, Lou?
Not in any way, shape, or form.
He probably doesn't want to lay 275 either. More on the other side.